Porque uma das primeiras perguntas que surgem.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards because we've helped millions of businesses get the perfect cards at the
Every competition has multiple challenges and you have no idea what they're going to be beforehand. But in the semifinals, there were lots of viruses and I think the hackers had pretty much already gotten into the computer, so you had to get them out, and it was definitely a good competition. We dedicate a lot of time to this, and most of it is, since they don't tell you what they're going to be scoring, it's not like a sport like soccer where you just have one objective. You need to research what you need to do to get points. So that's what we spend most of our time doing, and then also practicing those skills and automating them sometimes. So I've always kind of been interested in how computers work, and when I got to middle school, this seemed like a good club for me. I've learned a lot about how they work and how to code on computers and all of that kind of stuff, but also other skills like problem solving and teamwork.
What kind of stuff do you do on the computers for it?
So they send out these images and they have vulnerabilities like passwords aren't set or password policies and auditing policies and stuff. And you have to fix those to get points.
We do a lot of researching to add to a list that we run through during the competition. So then when competition comes around, we go through everything that we have to try and find what they might throw at us. We could tell that at the start they were quite easy, but then they got harder and harder. So we're trying to dig deep into the computer to find things that aren't so obvious and right in front of you. I've learned a lot about how to find vulnerabilities in the computer and how to research them and figure out what to do about them.
We're really happy that we made it this far, and we hope to keep going and hopefully win nationals. I'm really excited for it because this time we get more time, and I'm going to this feeling more hyped and really excited for it.
This is our 7th year competing. Counting this year, we've had 13 teams make the top 3 position nationally and 4 national winners. And this year, hopefully, we're looking to make it 5 first place finishes. I'm very proud of the hard work and the dedication that they put into it. I think is important for all students to learn whether they choose that as a career path. We're growing up in a generation where everybody's using the technology and a lot of us don't quite understand how to keep ourselves safe and what best practice would be.
Cars lie to us. Motorcycles?
Hey, my name is Forrest, welcome back. So, you want to be a programmer. You see the cool things being built. You see the money that's being made. You want that, but in what fashion? You want to make games? You want to build web apps? You want to go indie? Maybe you want to work at a big company.
I, for one, salute our new corporate overlords.
And how do you get there from where you are now? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss all that. From career paths, to money, to the job market, skills, how to learn them, and the future of software development. Your future in software development. Now, there are two types of programmers. No, I ain't talking school or self-taught. I'm talking you do a bunch of research about the industry, you map out your entire career path and all this and all that before ever writing a single line of code. That's one. The other is you've written code. You had a problem that needed to be solved and something that needs to be automated, or you built something that you just thought would be funny. Then you realize, hey, I kind of like this whole programming thing. How can I get paid doing it? Both are perfectly valid and both can be successful, but that second person already enjoys coding. If you're that first person, that's something you got to figure out. How do I enjoy the process of coding and all that it entails? Because if you don't enjoy it, then what's the point? The money? Well, I'll bet you that you will make more money doing something you enjoy than doing something just for the money. That's just a little message from me to you. That's neither here nor there. So regardless of all that, how do you get there? How do you turn programming into a career? Well, first, you got to figure out what type of programmer you want to be. What do you actually want to build? Games? Websites? Apps? Mobile? Web? Whatever? LLMs? The best way for you to figure this out is by building them. I know, easier said than done, but just build a couple little games, build a couple little websites, build a couple or one app, work on an LLM to pull down some code and play with it. You may not be min-maxing your time as if you were to just pick one and go full force at that one. And, I can get to this point, this level up here within a year or so. Whereas if I try all these other things, it'll take 2 years or 3 years to get that same level. But trust me, picking the thing that you actually want to build and figuring that out, it's going to pay off in the long run. You don't have to min-max everything. You don't have to be the most efficient with everything, the most productive individual in the world. Set yourself up for success by building a whole lot of different things to begin with. And plus, there's going to be a lot of transferable skills from the build process to the architecture and the project structure to the programming languages and concepts that can transfer from one thing to another, from games to apps. Then figure out how you can get paid doing it. That sets off everything else from here on out. You got to do that first. And one of those things from here on out would be the skills. What skills do you need to learn? And it'll change from, industry to industry. And there are quite a few skills. The first one you probably thought of is, well, of course, programming. I need to learn a programming language. But you really got to view programming languages and frameworks and libraries simply as tools. Tools just like your IDE or your CI/CD tool or your project management software. You don't think, oh, I'm going to go perfect my hammer swinging skills and my sawing skills and then I'll be the best carpenter or woodworker in the world. No, those are just the tools to get the job done, of doing the actual work. And you'll get better at using those tools and understanding which tool is better for which job by doing the actual work, by actually building things. So it is good to, dive in and learn the basics of programming, like what are variables and constants and functions and methods and classes and data structures and algorithms and things of that nature. Because referencing that previous analogy, you still have to know how to swing a hammer. So yeah, learn the basics, but with the goal of getting out of there as quickly as possible, or else you're going to get stuck in tutorial hell, and the last thing you want to do is get stuck in tutorial hell. Because you actually building things, not watching someone else build things and you just write the same code as them, but by building things yourself, that's where you're going to learn. And that's where you're going to be implementing probably the biggest skill that you need, and that is problem solving. Because you'll be faced with new problems that you have to solve. You can't just always go Google something or ask ChatGPT, hey, how do I do XYZ? Because it'll be unique and specific to your code base, to your use case that hasn't been seen before in this fashion. And once you have figured out how to solve the problem, you use these tools and these skills in order to implement the solution, regardless of how it's implemented. 5, 10, 20 years ago, you had to write all of the code yourself. Today, you use an AI assistant to help you write the code. And then maybe in 10 years from now, you're more or less reviewing the code written by the AI in its entirety, or maybe debugging the code or what have you. And also, I know this may come as a surprise to y'all, but I have been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. This one, obviously, I don't think I'm wrong. That's why I'm making the prediction, but you never know. And plus, 10 years is a lot of time to learn and do a lot of things. Anyway, the tools that you use as a software developer, they start off with the programming language, and then libraries and frameworks, and then where do you write all of this code? And then IDE. And then how do you control the versions of this code? In version control software like Git, or Git system like GitHub or Bitbucket or what have you. And then you have build tools, and then you have CI/CD tools. Watch my last video on a complete overview of DevOps, because there you get to see the entirety of not just